y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm the mom here at From Arrows to Warriors. I have 3 arrows. They are 10, 6, and 4. And today's video, I just want to discuss 5 tips or 5 ways that our family affords to homeschool. There are no-brainers if you really want to think about it, but I have to think about it. I have to remind myself of these things, that way I don't go overboard, because my personality is I love to teach and I love school supplies. I do. I just love school supplies. I'm that weirdo. And if I see something online that someone's using and I'm like, ooh, that'd be fun, I want it. Or if I see a curriculum that comes with all of these things but they don't come all together, I want all the things. So I have to remind myself that we are a single income family and my husband is a fireman, so we can't afford it all. And I have to remind myself of budget, and that buying supplies or buying curriculum or buying things that go with it, that's not what's most important. That's not what's most important to us, and I have to stick to a budget to make us be able to afford to homeschool, because it can get expensive if you allow it to. So my 5 tips for homeschooling are simple, to the point, common sense maybe, but again, I need them, so I figured I'd share with you. So number 1, the first thing that I try to always do when it comes to buying curriculum, school supplies, whatever the case may be, I try to shop used first. If I can't find it used, then I'll go to a few other of these things that we'll get to. But I shop used, whether that be Facebook groups. When I was using My Father's World, when I bought it first, I did buy the entire set for My Father's World Kindergarten. I bought the whole kit for like $100 less than brand new, and I bought it used. I got it from a Facebook group that's just a swap page or a sell curriculum page, and that saved us a good chunk of money. And then the only thing I had to buy brand new were the actual worksheets, but I got all the books, I got the teacher's manual, I got a little bit of the manipulatives that came with it, a lot cheaper buying it used. So I do try to search used for anything that I want, whether, like I said, it's Facebook or even eBay. I'll go to thrift stores, whatever I could do to try to find whatever I'm needing used first. If I cannot find it used, then my next step is to search multiple sites to try to find it as cheap as possible. So if I can, for master books, let's talk about that. With master books, I bought the literature and math, and we're not using both, but I do have both, and science and history. And I searched multiple sites. And of course, master books, you have to also pay shipping, and also takes a little bit longer if you don't spend a certain amount. But I can buy that exact same thing on Amazon, which is what I did. And with my husband being a student, it's cheaper to have Amazon Prime. And so we were able to get it like 2 days later, which sooner shipping, and it was a lot cheaper. So I definitely shop the sites, compare it, and then purchase it wherever it's cheaper, wherever it's going to benefit me financially the most. Number 3, I take my time and buy things slowly. So if I know we're not going to start school until, like, start the new year until a specific date, I'll start 6 months or so early and start gradually buying things each month. Slowly take my time and buy a little bit here and a little bit there, instead of having to buy everything at one time. Because if we had to buy everything at one time, it would break us that month, and there's no reason for that. So we take our time and we search used, buy what we need to this month, set an amount, like, okay, I have $100 that I have set aside for this month to buy what I can buy this month, and then do the same thing next month. Maybe not $100, but you know, just whatever your budget is, $50, $20 for that month, and shop as simple as you absolutely can. Shop as cheap as you can, and slowly budget out each month instead of one whole order. All right. Also, number 4, use as many free resources as you can, whether that be YouTube, finding YouTube videos to teach your kids. Like, I mean, we use Pappyland for art. Is it intense art? No, but my kids are in first grade and kindergarten, and then my 5th grader, she actually really loves it too, but she has other stuff that she also does. But it's free. I mean, I can also go to the library, which is free, and we can check out art books. We can check out music books. We can check out history, math, language arts books. We can check out all the things. And actually, our library actually has curriculum that you can check out and make copies of. And so there are free ways to use resources around you if you just take time and really look for them. And then number 5, and this is probably the most important tip that I have for you, and the most important one that I have to remind myself, well, that my husband has to remind me and my friends have to remind me, is you don't need everything that you see on social media. You just don't. You don't need it. You can follow all the homeschoolers here on YouTube. You can follow all the homeschoolers on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, or whatever social media there is out there. And they can have all the things. They've got this really nice, extravagant homeschool room that's got thousands of books and all these board games and all the things. But you don't have to have that. And that's okay. Your homeschool can look differently than theirs. You don't need to compare the two. You don't need to spend the same amount of money as they do to feel like you're doing it right. You just need to know what you can afford and what your child needs. And that's it. That's it. Just be happy with what you have and not think that you need everything that someone else posts on Instagram or whatever the case may be, because you don't know their story. And maybe these things are given to them. You know, maybe that's what they ask for Christmas every year or for their birthdays every year, or maybe that's just where they spend all of their money. They don't have debt anywhere else. They have this. You know, you never know their story. And so there's no reason to compare yourself to them and think you got to have everything that they have. If you can afford it, go for it. If you can't, that's okay. Just get what you can afford. Know what's going to work for you, and know that everything that they have may not work for them. Maybe that's why they have so much. Again, you just never know their story. You never know. So just continue to remind yourself, as I do on a daily basis, is you don't need everything you see on social media. It is okay to want everything you see, but it's not okay to put yourself out, you know, struggle with anything in order to get that. That's just not necessary. But yeah, that's how we afford to homeschool on a budget, as a single income family. And as a, you know, like I said, my husband's a fireman, so it's not like we make bank, but we don't hurt either. So that's just what I have for you. Those are my 5 tips. Hopefully you get something from that. Maybe you can share some tips on how you budget and afford to be a stay-at-home mom and homeschool. Hi. Be a stay-at-home mom and homeschool. And yeah, maybe we can share those out together. Hi, bud. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell, and we'll see you next time. Y'all